The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Northeast Solar, helping Western Mass families achieve greater energy independence through solar power, battery systems, and air source heat pumps. Northeast-solar.com.
Welcome to the Fabulous 413. I'm Khalees Smith.
And I'm Monty Belmonte. Later in the show, 30 bands worth of hot skankin' action as we chat with folks about the upcoming Pioneer Valley Ska Festival at 52 Sumner in Springfield.
And another festival is coming to Florence with 4 days of new works performed at Look Park and Bombyx Center for Arts and Equity as we also explore the Etchings Festival.
But before we look at all of the festival goings-on, a bit of theater from one of the companies that's maintained a summer production presence here in Western Mass.
Silverthorne Theater Company is a small professional theater company engaging artists and audiences in the conversations of our time with bold, intimate theater. They serve the culturally vibrant and ecologically beautiful Connecticut River Valley region of Western Mass.
Founded in 2014 by David Rowland and Lucinda Kidder, they quickly won acclaim as one of the top companies in Western Mass, while also expanding from their original home base of the Greenfield area to perform throughout the valley.
Silverthorne Theater Company produces 5 shows a year: a February cabaret, 2 spring theater, Thursday play readings focused on the work of Valley playwrights, and 2 main stage summer productions that this year, as in previous ones for the last time, will be presented in Hampshire College's Black Box Theater in Amherst.
With us to talk about their upcoming production of Deep Blue Sound are director and board president Ezekiel Baskin and actors Gina Kaufman and Imani Bebold. Thanks so much for coming into the Fabulous 413 today.
Yay, thanks for having us.
Very excited.
Happy to be here.
Before we get into the sad part about losing your theater and that relationship, talk to us about this particular production. What is Deep Blue Sound about? What was important about making it a part of this summer season? Ezekiel.
Yeah, I love this play. This is one of my favorite scripts that I've read in the recent years, and I feel so lucky to be directing it. It's really a celebration of community, and it tells the stories of interconnected people on an island in the Pacific Northwest, which has some real resemblance to our rural communities here in Western Mass.
Except no beach.
Except no beach. And the interconnected stories of these residents of the island as they deal with love and loss and coming together to find the whales who come every year to their island and have stopped showing up. And it's very funny. It's kind of uproarious in its depiction of community meetings and people coming together and people missing each other. And I'm just delighted that we're sharing it. And it feels like a really fitting show to close out our season.
The playwright is Abe Kugler. Tell us a little bit about Abe Kugler.
Abe Kugler is fascinating. He writes these dialogue that is unlike what I've read anywhere else. He really captures how people speak in a group together, the ways they overlap each other, the sort of odd non sequiturs that they take. And he's very up and coming. He's written a number of plays that have had New York premieres in the last few years. And as far as I know, his work has not been produced in Western Mass before. So we're really excited to be bringing this play. And he has somewhat of a local connection, too, because he's been teaching in Vermont for the last couple of years.
I believe you when you say he writes more like people speak as opposed to people who are like, Mehmet writes like people speak. And I'm like, who speaks like that? No one. So halting, so weird.
Yeah.
Although I appreciate that as well. But speaking of teaching, Gina Kaufman, you're a teacher at UMass, right?
Yes, I am.
Tell us what you do there.
I teach acting and directing. And in fact, I've been just directing for the last 15 years. And even before that, I wasn't doing a lot of acting. So it is so, it's fun. It's wonderful. It's terrifying to be acting. And I am playing Mayor Annie, who is one of the islanders who is not exactly the mayor. She's the symbolic mayor because they have a fundraiser every year. So she was elected only because the Humane Society that she was representing got the most dollar bills. But she's taken it as Mayor Annie. I am taking things as far as I can. I'm going to find those whales. I'm going to lead this community to new places, and I'm not going to listen to other people's ideas.
Sounds like nonviolent Jaws. You get a very proactive and mayor with bravado.
Yes.
So what is it like to direct a director, Ezekiel Baskin, and one that teaches directing?
Ezekiel's been my assistant
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yes, including, I do believe, the last time that we had you on.
That's
last year
right,
for
the
your
amateurs,
predictions. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I actually have loved directing Gina because I feel like since we've collaborated so much, we have a lot of shared language around directing. So I feel like I can give a note and you take it pretty immediately. And we're able to kind of, there's a lot in this play about kind of reading each other's minds and sort of hearing each other's thoughts. And I feel like we have some of that, which is really delightful. Yeah, and there's a lot of sort of directors in the room. Our lighting designer also has a history as a director. Some of the other actors have directed too. So it's a very boisterous and thrilling room of lots of ideas generating at all times and lots of delightful chaos, some of which you'll see on stage if you come see the show.
And the show is Deep Blue Sound. It's July 16th through 26th at Hampshire College in the Emily Dickinson Hall. And we are joined in the studio here by the board president and director of the play, Ezekiel Baskin, as well as Gina Kaufman and Imani Bebold. Imani, tell us about who you play in this.
I play a darling 24 or 5-year-old named Allie, and she is struggling, like most 20-somethings, to figure out what it is that she wants, and also moving back home to be with her mom. And oh my gosh, what a nightmare that can be, but also what a beautiful thing it can be. She's trying to figure out what it is that she's doing back on this island, and the way she goes about it it's really pure, and it's also just, it's funny at times, and it's touching. It's touching. There's something about her relationship with her mom that I think most people can relate to. The ways we reach for connection and sometimes really struggle to understand each other. But just having that, rupture sometimes and rigidity give way to just some really tender moments.
In the blurb, it's mentioned that this is sort of an ecological our town. I'm going to start with Imani and we'll walk through, but talk about the environment as its own character as part of this show, because in that, clearly what's going on ecologically is something that is hanging over every conversation or every interaction that is a part of this show.
If you think of this show as a tapestry, each of the characters is a thread that paints this picture, and there's something about the natural world that is a reflection of all of the struggle and also just kind of beauty and beautiful chaos that is our human interaction in our human world. And there's moments in the script where animals are depicted, and they are animals that are grouped animals, like a family of whales and a flock of birds, and that reflection of what it means to be connected. It's a synergy. I don't know. It's a character, and it's also a reflection of the characters themselves.
Ezekiel?
Yeah, that was beautifully said. And I think the play is also very oceanic, the way in which the scenes kind of overlap each other. It feels almost like waves on the shore. And I also think it's very human, and it's very ecological. So at the beginning of the play, the characters are sort of telling us what the play is about, and it's about the whales, and it's sort of about us, the people. And so thinking about that interplay and the humor that arises too in the interplay between humans trying to understand the natural world, trying to understand why haven't the whales shown up, and maybe assigning some human motivations to the whales. Is a real...
Absolutely. Dreaming of them, wanting to hug them.
Can you hug a whale? How do you hug a whale?
Very carefully, and preferably with breathing apparatus.
They say you have to ask for consent.
Yes.
And how do you ask for consent? And it winds on from there.
It does.
What's your take on the ecological themes in this, Gina?
Well, I really appreciate plays like this that have something really deep and important to me in our world that are not didactic. So we're understanding in new ways, I think, what it means to not be separate from the earth, but of the earth, as Mayor Annie says at one point. We are of the earth, in her way. But we're understanding it in these ways that highlight relationships and humor and misunderstandings. But at the same time, all of a sudden you get whomped by, oh, I never thought about it that way. That's what it would mean to miss this species that you love. So I love the way that because of all the layering, things just will land on me even now as I'm listening in new ways, or as I'm speaking as Annie. I suddenly go, oh, I just said something really real.
The play is Deep Blue Sound. We talked about how the whales have yet to arrive on this island. I'm imagining from a production standpoint that makes it easier than having whales arrive.
There is a whale in the show.
Oh, there is. We will.
That's all I'm going to say.
Did you borrow a carcass from you?
I was going to call.
I'm not going to tell you.
You'll have to come and see.
I have a lot of bones in a
Call
boat.
it. How about whaling for Godot?
Oh,
No.
no. Don't encourage him.
But the other sad reality of this, well, a couple really. Silverthorne Theater, both of its founders have now passed away. I got to know both of them over the years. And now it's you're the director of Silverthorne Theater, Ezekiel, or who?
Well, I would say we're collaborative.
Yeah, there's a board, right? But you
There's-
have some fancy title.
I am
board
the president, but
president.
I'd say we're really a deeply collaborative company. So one of the things that's really fun about Silverthorne is the way that we as a board lead together and make decisions together. So together we decide on the season. We have a season selection committee. We have a personnel committee that staffs all the shows. So it really is a co-led enterprise. And that's been it was an experiment when we sort of shifted from Lucinda as the managing director to this co-led model. And it's been really lovely. I think it creates more thoughtful decision making, and it's also just lets us be in relationship to each other more deeply. Like, I feel really close with the other board members, and like we're able to have meetings where there's often like laughter and tears and just like a real sense of personal connection that I think then like undergirds the work that we're making. So that's one of the things that's been really exciting about this shift in the last few years to this collaborative model.
Gina, do you have something you want to add?
Oh, just that I was really nervous when we went to this model. I thought, I've worked in a lot of theater companies, and there's an artistic director or a managing artistic director. And so I was wary about how this would work. And honestly, Ezekiel was very persuasive, and it has been beautiful to realize that it is actually okay to not have somebody who's the top person in our company, that we actually are a working board and we make collaborative decisions together.
Imani, is this your first interaction with Silverthorne, or have you done things with Silverthorne in the past?
No, I was, oh gosh, how many?
2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago that I kind of stumbled into Silverthorne's embrace. I was asked to be a stand-in for an actor who could no longer be part of the production. It was like a week before opening.
I know
Bull
these stories.
Rusher, written by Isa Davis. It was, and it was such a beautiful opportunity to work with Ezekiel, and at the time, our director for that show. The energy that Silverthorne brings to a stage, I want to call it like it's call to action theater. I don't know, like that's, and how do I describe that? But there's something so deeply grounded in wanting to collaborate and wanting to depict, I think, humanity and just the human experience in its rawest form, and it's and in a really, really fun way too. It's just every show that I've seen since doing that, it's all of those things in one. And so no, this is not my first, and hopefully not the last.
Hopefully not.
And just to say too that when you stepped in as Bull Rusher in Bull Rusher as the titular character in that show. Central character.
That's a big step in.
It was a big step.
It was pretty incredible to witness, just to say.
Yeah.
And now Dana Harrison, who's playing Imani's mother in the show, who I worked with at Shakespeare and Company. I'm just thinking of different connections. Her daughter has worked with us at Silverthorne and was my student at UMass.
And I went to school with her too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of interconnections.
Oh, the incestuous theater community in Western Massachusetts.
So you can bring the community you already feel on stage is the answer to that. And speaking of putting on theater and community, you've been performing your summer works at Hampshire, and this ostensibly is the last summer that Hampshire will operate. What does that mean for you finding a new place to do your summer theater? Because I'm assuming that this is not going to stop you from doing summer theater.
It will not stop us. Yeah, we have a few different exciting options that we're thinking about, which we can't say what they are yet. But we're looking into a few things that we're excited about. And I think this opportunity this summer with this show is really a chance to celebrate Hampshire and to celebrate the work that we've done at Hampshire in the past few years. So it feels, though we didn't know it when we were picking our season months ago, it's oddly fitting that I'm directing the show as a Hampshire alum who really grew up in this theater. Our lighting designer, Sabrina Hamilton, was one of the original theater students at Hampshire back in the 70s.
Who also had her own magnificent theater festival that no longer exists, the Co-Fest. I was just lamenting that this morning in the shower.
Yes, and
that
the Co-Fest, the Co-Fest's last seasons were at Hampshire, and Sabrina's first acting class ever was on the main stage at Hampshire where we're performing. And she's mentoring a current Hampshire student who's graduating in this final semester in the fall, who's working as her assistant on this show. So there's a lot of really beautiful Hampshire connections in this show. And I encourage anyone who's sort of feeling whatever feelings you have about the closure of Hampshire, come to our show, come be in the space, celebrate it with us. We're excited to have you there.
It's a wonderful space.
To quote a Hampshire alum, Elliott Smith, it'll be a fond farewell to a friend in this theater in Hampshire College. And the production is Deep Blue Sound and is being presented by Silverthorne Theater Company, July 16th through 26th, the Main Stage Theater, Emily Dickinson Hall, Hampshire College in Amherst. And we have been joined by the director of Deep Blue Sound and board president, collaboratively working with Silverthorne Theater, Ezekiel Baskin, as well as actors Gina Kaufman and Imani Bebold. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you
guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
Do you see that he put Free Willy on?
I did. You can't hear it, but I put the music for Free Willy in here. It was about killer whales. What else was I going to put on?
Oh my God.
What else?
No,
What's a better killer whale song than the Michael Jackson Free Willy song?
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. And now we move to festivals happening this weekend because it's warm and we New Englanders take advantage.
With guitars, horns, and upbeats at the Pioneer Valley Ska Festival at 52 Sumner in Springfield.
And just north of that, in the village of Northampton, for the multi-genre, full of new compositions, Etchings Festival next.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Free Willy.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413, the Etchings Festival, directed by Grace Hughes, Joanna Pope, and Massachusetts-based composer and Clark University professor and regular guest here on the Fabulous 413. John Aylward has announced its 17th summer season, showcasing cutting-edge contemporary music across a wide variety of genres. The three-day festival takes place this weekend from July 10th through 12th and features outstanding guest composers and virtuosic performances in Florence.
The festival will feature the Eche Ensemble, the King Clave Trio, Surface of Sphere, the Boston-based jazz sextet, and will close with sonic translations an afternoon featuring some of classical concert music's most compelling new voices. On July 10th and 11th, the performances will be nestled under the pines at Look Park Sanctuary in Willow Lake, and the festival concludes on July 12th in the Bombyx Sanctuary.
Eche Ensemble is comprised of violinist Jordan, you can correct me, John Aylward, at any time if I say any of these names wrong. Jordan Hadrill.
Great.
Cellist Robbie Bowie.
Yeah.
Flautist Lily Shee.
Yeah.
Clarinetist Barrett Ham.
Yeah.
Pianist Jeffrey Burleson.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And this summer we have clarinetist Alexis playing with us. Barrett won't be able to join us, so we brought in Alexis. So sometimes we have substitutes, but that is the core group as you have articulated it.
And we also see that you've got a percussionist Dennis Sullivan and saxophonist or saxophonist Philip Stowden.
Yes, we have Philip Stoidlin on saxophone.
And
Dennis Sullivan on percussion.
And what is the conductor's name here?
Stratis Minikakis.
Yeah,
is our conductor.
take that
composer.
one.
Yeah, so it's a great team. We have a really great team of people, and you can check it all out on the website etchearts.com. We have all of our biographies up for all of our performers. Come to the shows and get to meet them.
And Etche is ECCEarts.com, and that is the
Just
aforementioned.
like the name of my Latin
Exactly.
textbook.
It is Latin.
Etche, yes.
Etche Romani.
Etche, behold.
And that is John Aylward, who is the aforementioned Clark University professor who is behind this festival, who's been on to talk about it a number of times. And we're also joined in the studio by, from Surface of Sphere, Pandelis Kariorgis. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome here to Western Mass and to Etche.
Thank you.
Pandelis, how did you get involved with the festival this year?
John asked me to join. That's the best way, where you don't even solicit it.
People want you to be a part of it. So tell us about Surface of Sphere and that ensemble.
Right. Surface of Sphere is a sextet that came together. Even though we've been playing together, the different members of this group have had decades of mileage amongst themselves. As a group, we came together in February. We did a special concert in Lowell, and it all came about because of one of the pieces in the repertoire, which is a Duke Ellington piece that was composed in 1943 in tribute of a man who lived from the middle of the 18th century and was a fifer and a fighter in the American Revolution. He was born a free black man in the area of Lowell. He fought at the Battle of Bunker Hill. His name was Barzillai Lou. And Duke Ellington found out about him, and he wrote this piece in 1943. We were able to get that piece from the Smithsonian.
Wow.
But in parts. So I had to reverse engineer the piece.
Uh-huh.
That's why we put the band together. We surrounded that piece with other pieces by Thelonious Monk, Sun Ra, Henry Threadgill, Eric Dolphy. So it's all a little bit revolutionary music, I guess.
Very cool.
It's
a different type of revolutionary music, and that's that's the kind of revolutionary we like.
I mean, it's such a great lineup of composers.
And then the musicians are also not like a straight-ahead jazz musician. They're all creative. I get in trouble for saying it that way, but I mean, they are musicians who seek, a little bit of a creative approach and bring something new to Ellington and Strayhorn. And so we were able, in subsequent gigs, we were able to take that 3-minute Ellington arrangement and expand it into a 16-minute piece. So we hope we'll bring some of that energy and exploratory attitude on the concert on Saturday.
And that's really what Etche is doing itself. So I think reaching out to you and working with Surface of Sphere, it's such a great combination, because I think the Etche players are also trying to reimagine these works, classical works on our end, and also play a lot of new music from up-and-coming composers.
And then throw in some jazz there. It's genre agnostic, as we like to say, where you're playing with all of the boundaries and all the colors and making it whatever you want it to be.
Speaking of boundaries, I just want to quickly add that the name Surface of Sphere I got from a notebook of Ruth Hasawa's. We went to see her exhibit at MoMA, and there was a notebook, and she had written in there, Surface of Sphere has no boundaries.
Wow.
And I thought that would be a great name for it.
It is a great name.
That's so cool. John, this is the second event where we're getting a chance in the Valley to see new work from you. I feel like we don't necessarily see contemporary composers put out work so close to each other. Mm-hmm. What's it like having so much new material come out all at once?
Well, I think that the performers of Etche, and I am so excited for the community to meet these players and get to know their work and watch them play. They're virtuosos, and they are hungry for new work. They're hungry for new music. They want to be interacting with new young fellows. So we have 8 young fellows being performed this week. And, when I say young, maybe that means I'm getting a little old, because these are serious young professionals coming out of a degree, searching for some of their first commissions and some of their first performances. So it's a really great chance to get to know young talent kind of at the beginning of their career. And we're so excited to showcase them. So it's a great question, how do you handle this kind of volume of new music and new work coming out every single summer? It's actually what we're designed to do and what we seek out to do. So I hope I'm not burning out any of our players by asking them to play so much new music, but they seem to be game, and we do kind of try to push our boundaries and see what we're capable of, and these pieces are challenging for the players, but they're really exciting to listen to. We were in rehearsals this morning, and some of this music is just pretty exciting to be a part of.
Pandelis, you're from the Boston area. Did you have a frame of reference for this festival previous?
No, but I'm super excited to be part of it, and and to have an opportunity to bring these exciting players in our group. We have Taylor Ho Bynum, who is no stranger to this area, on cornet, and then Bill Lowe, who's an elder statesman. And then we have younger people like Noah Campbell, who is a firebrand saxophone player. And also I should mention my wife is a composer, and she's having her work performed here. So it's fantastic for us to spend the week here and be immersed in all the proceedings.
Yeah, one of the featured composers, guest composers this summer is Julia Wernz. We've been tracking Julia's music for a long time and really excited to be able to feature a new premiere of hers this summer. That'll be on the concert on the 12th.
And some of it is at Bombyx, but a lot of it is at Look Park as well. Yeah. And you meant there's so many musicians that are coming, John, and you assemble these musicians year after year. Talk about the community that forms when the Etchings Festival descends upon Florence.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's such a great community. We've had a great relationship with Justin and the whole team at Look Park. We are doing this really fabulous sound walk this summer at Look Park. Some of our composer fellows who have works performed on the concerts also created short installation pieces that we've mounted in Look Park, kind of like an Easter egg hunt. So if you go to Look Park, even all through the summer, let alone the festival this weekend, but if you come to Look Park, you can go on the sound walk. There are 6 installed sound pieces that reflect the history of Look Park, the surrounding environment, the history of the Connecticut Valley. Some very interesting perspectives and takes on the environment. And we wanted to challenge our fellows to immerse themselves in the community before they got here because, they are guests.
Yeah.
A lot of the performers here are from Massachusetts, from the Valley, they're local. But when we bring in this new talent that we're featuring, they come as far as wide as Arizona, Colorado, Seattle, across the country, some international students. And this sound walk, immersing our fellows in Look Park with this sound walk has been such an exciting part of the festival and a great way for them to get to know the history of the area.
Pendelise, so your particular concert, as we mentioned, like some of these are going to be happening outside at Look Park, and some of the Sunday ones are going to be at Bombyx inside the sanctuary there. From your perspective, especially in terms of performing and perhaps composing, also, like what's the difference, or how do you feel about performing outside in nature as opposed to inside, like enclosed spaces?
I've done both, and I've never been really aware of a big difference as long as the sound system is good.
And Bombyx has such a great sound system.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. So I'm just happy to focus on the content of what's happening, and I'm sure there's going to be a great energy.
Yeah, I think playing outside, it's a great way to deepen the relationship with the community because people can come out to the park. The environment is a little bit more low-key. It's not like dressing up for a concert. Bring a lawn chair. Look Park serves beer and wine. Just enjoy being in the park. Come on the sound walk, spend time at the park, and then catch some of these pieces.
We've heard, John, a little bit about your Etche ensemble, and we've heard from Pendelise a little bit about Surface of Sphere. Tell us about some of the other highlights that are part of this 3-day festival happening in Florence the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Sure. We're going to be featuring works by the very composers who are teaching the fellows that we're featuring on the 10th and 11th. Mm-hmm. So if you come to all the concerts, you kind of get to see the whole package of what we do. It's not just a festival. We have this kind of academy running underneath where all of these guests who we feature on the 12th teach and present master classes and workshops for our fellows to kind of cultivate them through the week so that they feel like they're having their works premiered in these professional environments, but they're also being coached so that their works are presented in the best possible light.
Pendelise, expanding that Duke Ellington piece, what ways did you see your ensemble gel as you made the piece longer and longer?
That's a great question. All the players in our group, including myself, belong to that kind of jazz musician who feels comfortable playing 32-bar forms with chord changes and also equally comfortable playing totally free. So approaching Duke Ellington and Bill Strayhorn, obviously Eric Dolphy's piece or Sun Ra's pieces are easier to go in the free direction. But but the Duke Ellington, you want to respect the composition, you want to respect all the melodic lines and the craft that has gone into the arrangement. So obviously you're going to play that, but you can surround that and then you can find ways to abandon the narrative, the straight ahead thing, and go into more exploration and exploration with sound, with texture, with suspending rhythm and so forth. Most of the people in this group have played in different contexts together for decades, so we can trust each other.
Was the original Duke Ellington piece that 3-ish minute length, or are there parts of it that were lost to history?
No, it is 3 choruses of a 32 bar form AABA with a little piano interlude.
Mm-hmm.
What was really cool is we obtained a friend of ours, Stephen Malagodi, applied to the Smithsonian, and he got the photocopies of the parts. And when they came back, they had handwritten on them names like Tricky and Rex and Nance. And we know that all these were like famous Ellington players. There was nothing lost.
Yeah, that's good to know that it's not lost to history and had the gaps filled in. But
there's only one full recording of it that I could find. And another interesting little bit of information here is that these were recorded apparently in 1945. Duke Ellington did for a year plus. He did a series of radio shows to help with the war bonds. And so he would play his music, and then he would come on air and plug war bonds.
And now that the cheering is over, let's get down to business, to the business of giving the GI his place in the sun. That's what we promised in the GI Bill of Rights, and that's what we'll do. And to do it, Uncle Sam needs money that you can lend him by buying war bonds.
So you're going to have to do that at the Etchings Festival.
Yeah, exactly.
in a different direction, like, do you see things about your compositions changing, like, right after the festival has ended, like after you've done this week of workshops and seen all of this new music in a really sort of intense short period of time?
Well, I really hope that the week is transformative. It certainly is for me. I love mentoring all of these new pieces. I love showcasing them. I love working with our guest composers and giving them a platform for broader reach out into the community. We've got David Sanford from Holyoke, Kate Soper at Smith College. So we have locals. We also have Melinda Wagner up from Juilliard. So we have so many interesting composers descending on the festival. And yeah, I think it is a really transformative experience for me. I always come away thinking about new music a little bit differently, thinking about my own music a little bit differently. I hope that our fellow composers really feel that way, and I know our guests have in the past. And I really hope that our audiences come away thinking about music a little differently. There was a nice write-up in the Hampshire Gazette a little while ago about Etchings, and it talked about how it's no-label music at Etchings. And I just thought that was such a nice way of putting it, no-label music. Anybody who is interested in music, period, is going to get something out of this week, whether it's the long-lost works of Duke Ellington, a new young composer writing electronic music, a sound installation through Look Park. There's just so many ways to interact with this festival and so many takeaways. So I really do hope to see the community out to catch these new waves.
It's like the surface of a sphere. It's boundaryless.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
And we have been joined by Pantelis Kariorgis, who is from the ensemble Surface of Sphere, who will be performing as part of the Etchings Festival, as well as one of the Etchings Festival's founders, musician, composer, regular guest and friend of the show, John Aylward.
I feel like we should mention your wife also has new work happening.
Absolutely,
Yeah, we had you both on last time, too. Yes. And so having spouses involved seems to be a big part of this as well.
Absolutely. It's a family affair. And my daughter Robin will be around. So anybody who wants
performing
to catch
as
my
well?
9 month. No, not yet.
Not yet.
Too young.
The festival is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Florence at Look Park and at Bombyx Center for Arts and Equity. John Aylward, Pantelis Kariorgis, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here.
Great to be here.
And now we'll head just down the road to 52 Sumner, where another festival is brewing for the rude boys, girls, and other gender expressions at the Pioneer Valley Ska Festival.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413. On July 24th and 25th, 52 Sumner in Springfield will host the Pioneer Valley Ska Fest 3, featuring 30 bands across 2 stages over those 2 days. The festival is a massive endeavor, bringing not just bands and music lovers together, but folks from organizations all over Western Mass as well.
With us to speak about the event are Eric Coles from 413 Ska, and one of the 30 bands taking the stage in Springfield on that weekend for Valley Ska Fest 3. Futon Lasagna, which is a name that we love, that we want to hear more about
It's so, yes.
in just a
It's
second.
so perfect on so many levels.
Yes, and here to perform a song for us before we begin here in earnest in our conversation is Heather Gore and Matthew Gore from Futon Lasagna. Let's start out with a song.
Thanks, guys. This is acoustic. Why did I say what I said? Probably wasn't a big deal. I can't get it out of my head. Why am I broke? I just got paid. I could be a billionaire. My bills would still be late. It's like watching a bad movie. See it happening on the screen. You try and try, but she just can't hear you. Scream! Doesn't matter, won't change a thing. How many times will I mess everything up? I'll never get it right. I'll try and I try and I try and I try. I fall flat on my face, I'll never learn. How many times? Oh, this can't be late, that's what they said. Here we are once again, now that deadline's dead. I'll just stay for one drink.
One drink, go.
That's never happened before, what do I ever think? It's like watching a bad movie. You see it happening on the screen. Try, but she just can't hear you.
Scream!
Doesn't matter, won't change a thing. How many times will I mess everything up? I'll never get it right. I try and I try and I try and I try. Fall flat on my face, I'll never learn. How many times? Oh, so many. I don't know about you guys. A lot. All of them, maybe? Most of them? Like watching a bad movie. You see it happening on the screen. You try, but she just can't hear you.
Scream!
Doesn't matter, won't change a thing. How many times will I mess everything up? I'll never get it right. Try and I try and I try and I try. I fall flat on my face, I'll never learn. How many times?
Yay! Some ska acoustic music, which I love, to steal that pun from you, from Futon Lasagna, which is one of the 30 bands taking the stage in Springfield at 52 Sumner the weekend of July 24th and 25th for the Valley Ska Fest 3.
How did the first Ska Fest come together?
Eric Coles of 413 Ska.
Sure.
Eric,
yeah, the first one was actually at Hawks and Reed. Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah, this is the third one. So
yeah,
that
it's the
would be
third
3.
one. So yeah. So,
I think, right?
That is how numbers generally
really
work.
over
Right,
the
yeah.
2 years ago, but it was the first
But
one.
it's still, it's
So
just confusing.
so actually Heather kind of planned out the first one, but yeah, it was kind of just a show that just kept like ballooning and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then once we got Hub City Stompers on board and Pilfers, and we got Kudado, it just kind of grew into like a festival. We had 20 bands for $20 on the first one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a bargain.
And it is still a bargain for 30. It's like 30-ish bucks for 30 bands or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
35 30 bands, and that ticket's good for both days.
That's great.
Yeah,
That
one
is-
ticket,
that's
2 days.
One of the objectives, really, to
Yeah.
make it accessible to the community, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love.
And-
Oh no, please.
and then kids, I always, because like I've got kids, everyone in the ska world seems to have kids. Kids 13 and under are free. I always like to point that out.
Yeah, I love that in pictures of previous Ska Fests, there's just like a circle pit that's just kids. like going around, like just throwing in hands, not in a bad way. Everybody is just like, that's what
Teach a
happened.
child to mosh, and they mosh for a
Teach
lifetime.
a child to
Exactly.
skank, and they show up at your ska
And then
festivals and later
whenever
years.
you're tired, they can continue on.
Exactly.
You know, it's great.
The circle never dies.
Right.
What makes ska, in your opinion, Eric? And do you disclude bands because they're not ska enough?
No, I mean, so we have two punk bands on there, and then we've got a bunch of ska. I mean, local favorites, Power Up. You know, they play maybe 10% ska.
Right.
It
more like
says that they're ska
ska
simply
core.
because they say that they are ska.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe
I guess
ska
if there's
is
a
a state of
horn,
mind.
they have
Right.
a horn.
Yeah.
They have horns like that.
But you don't have horns, right?
We
Futon
do not.
lasagna?
No.
So
We
horns
have-
are not a...
We have visiting horns sometimes.
Oh, cool.
We have guest
but-
horns sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But
What-
yeah.
I'm curious, like, so first wave ska is like the 50s, right? Like Desmond Decker, maybe.
Yeah.
And then second wave ska is like Specials and like late
Two-tone,
70s, 80s two-tone, where you're still wearing all the checkered look of two-tone. Then I think I grew up in the third wave ska, and the Mighty Mighty Bosstones was the band that I've seen more than any other band up now, except for Wilco, which I've seen more than any other band, mostly because of Solid Sound. So what wave of ska are we in right now?
Oh, the nth dimension of ska. Because I do feel like there's a little bit of a blend of things happening, right? Where we're a bit maybe bored of the waves, you know? I guess it's the fourth, fifth. I don't know.
Fourth,
I'm not
fifth.
exactly a scholar about it, but
A scholar.
A scholar.
It's right there
right
for
there.
the taking, Heather
No,
Gore.
it's perfect. I know. It's just going. It's going all right.
Although maybe we should take a break.
No,
And then we're going to come
right.
back with more from one of the 30 ska bands that is playing the Pioneer Valley Ska Fest 3 on July 24th and 25th at 52 Sumner. We're here with Futon Lasagna and Eric Coles from 413 Ska.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413. We're celebrating ska with Pioneer Valley Ska Fest, which is coming to 52 Sumner in Springfield on July 24th and 25th. And from 413 Ska, we've got Eric Coles and two of the members of Futon Lasagna, Heather and Matthew Gore, who are going to be playing that festival. Let's hear another song from Futon Lasagna.
All right. Thanks, guys. What have I done? Where have I been? I'm standing still in one place while the world rotates. Had lots of plans. This was my chance. All that extra time and space, did I throw it all away? Oh, I think I smiled, probably laughed. The sun didn't shine much, but I like it overcast. All the rain,
Lots of
all the day,
all the day.
can get you down, but it won't stay this way. It's not that dark, I guess the gray's okay. What can I do? This has to end. I should get a hobby or make some new friends. Nothing else seems to help all that much. Well, let me plug in and turn these suckers up. Oh, I think I smiled, probably laughed. The sun didn't shine much, but I like it overcast. All the rain,
Lots of
all the day,
all the day.
can get you down, but it won't stay this way. It's not that dark, I guess the gray's okay.
I think I smiled,
Probably laughed. The sun didn't shine much, but I like it overcast. All the rain,
Lots of
all the day,
all the day.
can get you down, but it won't stay this way.
Stay this
It's not
way.
that dark, I guess the gray's okay.
Woo! That ain't easy to do on the acoustic guitar. The ska acoustic guitar, Futon Lasagna.
Thank you so
Got
much.
Heather
acoustic,
Gore,
thank you.
Matthew Gore, performing as part of the Pioneer Valley Ska Fest 3, July 24th and 25th, 52 Sumner in Springfield.
We got to know where the name came from.
Futon Lasagna. There's a lot of
Good
ska
question.
puns that we've already even made today that
Right.
bands like to make out of their ska band, but what's Futon Lasagna?
That's such a good question. We like to turn it around. What does it mean to you?
Oh, no.
So, audience, tell us.
Well, I
us.
mean,
But
you
yeah,
fold a
guys.
futon, and lasagna kind of has a foldy
Those
kind of
layers.
element to it. So maybe if you were a person folded within your futon, you become part of a futon lasagna.
Ah, yes,
That's-
okay.
Yes.
Take
So
it.
that's not
very, very
not
good.
correct.
Take it,
That's
run
very,
with it.
very good.
That's just-
yeah.
That's, I mean, that's closer to my interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no true definition. We just say, no one really knows what happened that night. Or we can't talk about it, okay?
No one really agrees on what happened that night, but
Look,
it changed all of
it's
our
a
lives
series
forever.
of NDAs, and there's large fines involved.
Yes, we can't talk about it here. But no, we did just come up with a bunch of fun names, and I think it's a lot of fun actually, hearing what other people think. Some people think it's bodies are the layers of pasta or whatever,
Which is
and-
what I was thinking.
Oh, see, okay, there you go. All right, so we're representing a lot of what the audience thinks too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd love to hear from everyone. But yeah, it just means ska music,
Awesome.
our ska music. But I love when people are like, it reminds me of college.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Every
and high school.
futon reminds me of college.
Yes,
that
I
too.
think that's just the word.
Yeah.
Talk about humor in ska, because especially in now that we want to talk about waves, second and third wave, humor is a really important part of the way that lyrics work in ska in general. Talk about making it funny.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of stuff, although we played some of the more kind of serious songs, I think a lot of people can relate to how many times, right? Or
Right.
You're just, oh man, you're just messing everything up all the time. So I think it has to be somewhat relatable, where it maybe, I mean, at least for us, I think, there is some silliness to it at times, but generally the songs, still have kind of a point. Even Girth Control. To throw it out to some of our bands on the festival, that really do have a lot of that humor baked like a lasagna, baked
That's not
into
the first
what
baked
they do.
I thought of, actually.
Right, yeah, but that too. But yeah, I think it's actually part of it. There's a lot of commentary and a lot of metaphor, and it's thick with metaphor, if you will. What do you guys think?
Eric, are you in Girth Control?
I am not in Girth Control. I wish I was.
Are you in one of the bands, or are
I
you
am
just
not.
an
No,
aficionado, like a fan of
yeah.
ska?
I just just like
You are Mr. 413 ska. So.
right, kind of like Pokemon, just like to collect all the bands. And do, right. So that's my job, is to do the festivals, do the shows, collect all the bands possible. Yeah,
He's
I've got
the one
no.
we need to keep it together.
Yeah. I've got no actual musical talent.
Was there a band that turned you on to ska, Eric, that made you a convert?
I would say probably Mighty Mighty Bosstones from the movie Clueless. I'm sure you remember
absolutely.
the scene from Clueless. Yeah, that kind of.
I'm so old that by the time they were in Clueless, they'd sold out in my head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm that
Nice.
kind of old.
That's a different band you're referring to, Badum Shah.
Yeah.
A different ska band,
Sold
no
out.
less.
Yeah, right. And so, what are, in the minute we have left, a couple of the other bands that people may know that'll be part of this 413 Ska Fest on July 24th, 25th, 52 Sumner in Springfield?
Sure. So the two biggest bands, Buck 09 coming from the West Coast.
Which is nuts.
Which is great. And then everyone in New England, Western Mass, Thumper is doing a reunion. They haven't done a show. They did one show 3 years ago, so they don't play often.
We were there.
We were there.
We were all there.
Yeah.
Saw it all.
Yeah. So those are two big bands, and then do you want to speak? Girth Control, obviously. Power Up, local heroes. Scarmy of Darkness.
See again, there's a ska pun. Scarmy of Darkness.
Scarmy of Darkness.
Chef's kiss name there.
Got to shout out the Schluts, who are from the Schluts, who are coming out from the DC area.
Yes.
Yeah,
love
definitely.
Them.
And of course, our local heroes like Agonizers, Ghost Tones, some
The Green Street
friends,
Fiends.
Green Street Fiends.
And
Hey.
Futon Lasagna, who've been joining us today. Heather Gore and Matthew Gore from that band will be part of the Pioneer Valley Ska Festival. Eric Coles is 413 Ska himself putting this festival on. Thank you all so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been a delight. On the next Fabulous 413, we're going to talk about the upcoming opportunity for folks who are in towns around the Quabbin to talk about what's happening there.
Plus plays in place in their production of A Stake in the Ground 1776, taking over historic Deerfield. We'll see you tomorrow on the Fabulous 413.
Peace out, yo.